Soumya, when we talk about HR transformation,
Yeah.
what would you say is necessary for such a transformation to be successful?
Yes, for me, transformation is a really big word, and for many of them is a buzzword, right? And I would
Yes.
like to explore what is behind the buzzword. And big part of transformation of several transformation projects in big companies. So I've seen like it's not easy, right? And there are confusions. There are different perspectives of people. Many people think transformation is just going with new technology. Yeah,
Yes.
if you consider digital transformation as part. Yes, there are missing piece always on the transformation. And if I start exploring, I feel like transformation is not only with the technology. It's definitely with what your business want. That's the biggest part of your transformation part. So it starts with your past, like where you come from, so, what's your business model, how
Yes.
you work, what you're looking for, what's your strategy, from your business strategy to your people strategy, and then it comes to your HR transformation, like where your HR fits into this transformation or not.
Yes.
And if you see HR transformation is used in most of the cases in silos, like most people focusing on the HR models, operating models, focusing on that part majorly. I think that's one part, very small piece. You have to bring other pieces together.
Yeah.
And today the pieces lead with definitely technology is one of them. Another, there is other things like culture, because transformation
Yeah.
start with change in culture. People are the main center of the transformation to going around.
Yes.
And when you mention, like when you talk about people, it starts from your organizations, your leaders, yes, and also your culture. So it will change your culture. It demands a new type of leaderships.
Yeah.
You cannot be like old bossy leaders anymore. It doesn't work. So, and then you have to start understanding what's behind this technology and what's meaning for you.
Yes.
You should not blindly just start buying the technology from and you start adopting to it. It doesn't make sense. It makes sense like what is important for you, yes, and what makes sense for your business, and where you want to transform, where you want to go. Yeah,
Yep.
that's definitely is very important to have your right vision and the right strategy behind it. That's why we are talking about a lot of time the digital strategies, to have right digital strategies.
Yeah.
But when I talk to many people, most of the people leaders are not aware of what is digital strategies is about. That's the big questions. Again, there is no model and there is no one size fit definition of
Yeah.
anything. It has to be done by your own companies, your own organizations, with own people and own leaders.
Yes.
You have to understand your core things on that part. So it's a big thing. I think it's a big journey, and I have talked with many of these leaders. Many of the organizations are in some part of their journey. Some are very beginning, some of their middle. I haven't seen anyone reach the end, because end is totally uncertain. We don't know actually like where is the end actually on this transformation.
Yeah, and I guess in a way it's like an ongoing process, isn't it?
Yes, it's
It's
a
something that will
continuous
probably
process,
never
yeah.
be entirely finished.
Yes, and if you see the changes currently happening in last 5-10 years,
Yeah.
I don't see there is an end. It will be a continuous journey, and maybe we target something in next 5 years, and I'm sure in this 5 years, new target will come.
Of course, of
and
course.
you have to be continuously agile with your strategy, your visions, and of something.
Yeah.
Everything on that path,
Yeah.
that's a big change, and that's the adoption and the different mindset you need.
Yeah.
And that I call as a right digital mindset to be real talking about transformation. So
Yeah.
we have to be open. We have to connect the dots where all of the things together.
Yes.
So all the technology part on your people part, your leadership part, your culture part. There are many aspects. So this is endless.
Yes.
You have seen this. Unleash is a great example on that part. You are bringing all the people around us together. So you have to find out which is the right thing for you.
Yeah. Let's recapitulate. When we talk about HR transformation, it starts with knowing your people as an organization. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with knowing what your needs are, your culture,
Yeah.
and then that's when the technology comes into play really to see how that can help in getting the strategy going and starting that transformational process, right?
Yes, that's right. But again, HR transformation, as I mentioned, so far HR transformation is seen as very limited way.
Yeah.
Because the HR world is not so much equipped with digital mindset, I would say. They are not familiar with so much working with the technology.
Yeah.
The language of the HR world is very different from the technology world or
Yes.
other world like marketing or finance and other say.
Yeah.
If I say.
What would be a good way to start, for HR to start trying to fill that gap that there is at the moment in terms of lack of perhaps the knowledge of the right technology? How do you think HR could actually start
It's all
you
about
know, gaining that knowledge about
it's all about
technology.
educations, like
Yeah.
knowing each other, so knowing the things what's happening. So I would prefer like the continuous learning is one of the things
Yeah.
which you should do, and that's the basic skill I think today everybody need. Where you work in organization, corporate, where you work in consulting, whether you work in your own consulting or any product company, anything, anywhere you work, the continuous learning is important part.
Yes.
And I think as soon as leaders understand this and start, gaining this knowledge from different experience from others, learning from others, maybe training, maybe knowledge from like conference like this, that's
Yeah.
a huge part to gain, distribute knowledge. It could make sense.
Yeah.
And that's why like I love to do like sharing my knowledge, and
Yeah.
gain from others. So like
Yes.
you should be very hungry of getting this knowledge. You should have this hunger. Otherwise,
Agree.
it's difficult.
Yeah.
Because this is something also change on your own culture. People are not used to do this type of learning activities. People are very strict to their old way of working. So that's a big change also, which is also not easy. But I've seen like many big good leaders came from like that background are really moving forward. So
Yeah.
there are many examples. So.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. Thank you very much, Soumya.
Thank you, Neelie.